things that I have tried to do as a trustee and that I will continue to try and do is enhance that communication. And when there's decisions that are affecting our students, I think it's my job to better communicate why these things are happening and why certain decisions have been made. I think that helps people to understand and accept different aspects of change. And finally, our teachers. I think that being a teacher right now, I don't care if you're in Lubbock ISD or if you're anywhere across the state of Texas, being a teacher is hard. And I think that we have to do everything that we can to support and encourage those teachers, give them every tool and every resource. And that's a challenge given the decreases that we're having in funding. But I think that it's incumbent upon us to take care of our teachers and make sure that they feel appreciated every day for the work they're doing for students.
Okay. Melissa, you're first for this next one.
Okay.
How can LISD attract students who live outside the district?
I love that question. I would say two things, several things, but two things in particular. We have the best teachers that you will find anywhere, and I would say that to anyone. We are just so fortunate here in Lubbock, and I think that we have incredible teachers, and coupled with the fact that we have fantastic programming. We have quality programs in our schools. And I think that our students they benefit so much from that. I think that we bring a very unique, some very unique programs that other districts don't have. I think that we have very quality. We have a fantastic swimming and diving program. If your child wants to swim, Lubbock ISD is the place for you. We have incredible coaches and award-winning students in that program. We have fantastic strings. If you've never attended one of our string flings, you've got to go. We have very talented students across our district. Our fine arts are stellar. We've got very, very quality programs in our schools, and I think that those are the two things that we offer, that anytime students come to us from a different district, I think that they will never be disappointed.
Ruby Tanner, how can LISD attract students who live outside the district?
I think if you bring in programs that the school does not have that would interest young people, such as drama. A lot of them want to go to Hollywood. You can think of various programs. Now I have to brag on my grandson that attends Roscoe Wilson, and he's in kindergarten, and I think they're giving him math and science and history and computer programs and Spanish, spelling, and on and on. And he's just in kindergarten, and I'm just so excited about that. That's one of the reasons I'm sitting here at this table. So we want to have a round, balanced program so that other mothers would say, I want my child in that program. So again, if I may put it up as an example, Roscoe Williams has a perfect, to me it's perfect program, schooling for kindergartners. So if that's for kindergartens, what about the first, second grade, and et cetera, and et cetera? But keep in prominent, keep in exciting classes for children that it'll draw them in.
All right, and Ruby, we're going to continue with you on this next question. Do you believe that funding for Texas public schools is fair and equitable? And please discuss.
No, I do not. I believe it is an unfair formula. As you know, if you don't know, LISD has been given the least amount of money because they say it's the poorest, which is very unfair. To even make such a statement, what are the students going to feel just to hear that? Shall they feel less than? I don't think it's fair. It's not right. If I may say right quickly, when disasters happens overseas, within days, we of the United States, we get money, millions of dollars over to them. And most times the poorest of people are caught up in a disaster. So here we are, right here in Lubbock, LSD. I think we're in a disaster time right now. And they're saying we're the poorest of people, and they want to give the less money. Each student getting about $4,600 here in Lubbock, whereas Austin's getting about $6,800. And some of the schools are even getting more than that, I believe. And it's not fair, it's not right, I'm not understanding it. And I hate that we have to go to fight to get the money back. But there again, it is a very unfair formula. I don't like it. I don't even know how I could do to cover up the students' ears if they not hear that our district is the poorest and we receive the less amount of money. The least amount, I'm sorry. It's just not right, and I'm not not satisfied with that at all, and I'm wanting to get in there to help do whatever I can to get that situation changed.
Melissa Collier, do you believe that funding for Texas public schools is fair and equitable? And please discuss.
Certainly no, I don't believe that it's fair and equitable. I'll start off by saying that that is the number one reason that I supported our board joining the lawsuit to against our state, which, you know, I'm certainly not an advocate to go to the courts to solve problems, but in the history of Texas, no meaningful changes to school funding have ever taken place without some intervention from the courts, and that's a shame. You know, I always say if this was an easy fix, it would have already been fixed by now. And I know that there's a lot of complexities involved, but no, it is not equitable. And Lubbock ISD is funded in the bottom 30% of school districts. And, you know, just as Ms. Tanner said just a moment ago, you know, for our students, we're funded at a lower level than many districts that border our district. And there's really no rhyme or reason for that. And it is disconcerting. It's you know, it's disappointing to explain to our students that, you know, why are our students worth less than, you know, a student that borders us. So I would agree with her in that. But again, I think that we've got to do our part, and we've got to champion for our students. And I think that is the reason that I fully supported joining the lawsuit. And I do want to make the point that the lawsuit that we did join is all about the equity piece, and that, you know, if there are no new monies coming into the system, we at least have to take what we've got and more fairly distribute it among districts across the state.
Okay, Melissa, you'll begin with this next week. Excuse me, and it's a double question.
Okay.
In what ways has mandated statewide student testing been beneficial, and in what ways has it been detrimental?
Pardon me?
And also, how do you feel about the TAKS, the STAR, and end-of-course exams?
Okay, the first part, has it been beneficial or detrimental? I'll start off by saying that, you know, I believe testing, it's a part of our nature and part of our society. It's been part of the school system for many, many years. You know, you look across our society, you have to take a test to get a driver's license. You have to take a test. I had to pass a test to become a CPA. An attorney has to pass the test. It has to pass the bar. You have to pass a test to get your plumbing license. Testing is a part of our society, and I think that we have to prepare our students for that. I do think that the rigor of the current testing, it's caused anxiety across our district certainly, and across the state really. And the STAR test, you know, it's new. It's really hard to say one way or the other exactly what it's going to mean for our students. This is the first year of implementation. I think we're just kind of getting through it. However, I will say our students are going to be so prepared for taking these tests. I think our teachers have done just a magnificent job for preparing them and getting them ready for this. It has been disappointing, the lack of information that we've had with the STAR test, but you have to realize too, you know, when funding cuts occurred across the state, they didn't just hit districts, they also hit TEA. And when TEA was handed this and said, you know, implement this new rigorous testing, well, they had resources cut too. So I think it's just a difficult circumstance, but regardless of that, we have to hit it. We have to hit it head on, and we have to prepare our students for it. And I feel very, very good about the overall preparedness of our students and teachers. And the second part of the question?
What was about the end-of-course exams, and you mentioned the TAKS and the STAR.
Okay. Just want to make sure I fully answered the question.
Okay. Ruby Tanner, we'll move to you now. Would you like the question again?
Please.
All right. In what ways has mandated statewide student testing been beneficial, and in what ways has it been detrimental? And then also, how do you feel about the TAKS, STAR, and end-of-course exams?
Well, I feel like, of course, testing students is vital, but I've always been concerned, and I'm really concerned at this particular time, are they ready for it? The high performers I'm proud of, it's challenging for them, and I believe they can make it. But we have a large number that is falling below the test numbers. So therefore, I'm very concerned about that. The test that they used to take, of course, the low performers and those that are working below grade level. A lot of them didn't pass the test. And when we are able, whenever we're able to get these low performers up to par and get them stabilized, they'll be able to pass the test, which will generate more revenue for us and put us in a much better situation. And can you just believe for a moment that we could do that? And then they would be able to say that we're the poorest, or we're the ones with the grade level test that comes in that's so low. The STAR test is very rigorous. It's more questions, where the students used to have all day long to answer the question. You only have 4 hours. They've added calculus, trigonometry, more questions, and I'm just afraid, I'm hoping that the STAR test will do what they say it's going to do. But I'm leery, I am afraid, and I'm sort of nervous concerning the STAR test for our students. And there again, I'm worried about that great body. I want to get those students prepared, and so that it won't be so much pressure on them.
All right, thank you, Ruby. Now, since our time is running out, we're going to move on to the closing statements. And Melissa, since you flipped for that and you won that flip, then you get to begin with the closing statements. 2 minutes.
Okay, very good. I guess I'd just like to close and say once again thank you to the League of Women Voters, and thank you to KCBD, and thank you for Ms. Tanner for your participation in this. Again, I think it's so important for our voters just to be informed before they go and cast that vote. I'd also like to just say again, pardon me, what an honor it is for me and a privilege to serve this community as I said earlier, that I truly love. I believe I'm qualified for this position. I wholeheartedly want this job, and I want to continue serving and offering my service. I just take this opportunity to remind voters that early voting begins 1 week from today, with the election falling on Saturday, May 12th. And once again, I'm Melissa Collier, and I'm running for Lubbock Independent School District Board of Trustees member at large, and I sincerely would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Ruby Tanner, your closing statements.
Yes, again, my name is Ruby Tanner, and I would like to say Melissa has been very pleasant every time our paths cross. She's very pleasant, and we have exchanged pleasantries with each other. And if every campaign could be ran like she and ours, it'll be a better world. A better world. Nothing but smiles for each other, and I've enjoyed her. And someone said, may the best man win, may the best woman win. I understand what she's saying, she's understanding what I'm saying, so you have two good choices. And I'm asking you to go to the voting booth and remember to put a check by my name, as I want to get in and try and help and do as much as I can. Remember me at the voting ballot. Thank you.
I have to agree, this has been the friendliest panel I think we've ever had in here.
Come on, Melissa. Watch this.
And they're even holding hands at this moment.
This is what we do.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you both. It's been nice to see you both here. And that completes this round, this public forum to help prepare voters for the big election. Of course, that's coming, the upcoming city school election on May 12th. Early voting for that begins a week from today. That's on April 30th. All of our public forums will be streamed on kcbd.com if you'd like to watch this at your own convenience. We invite you to do that. And tomorrow night, by the way, at 7 o'clock, Abner will be here. He'll be the moderator in the City Council District 4 race. So don't forget, the League of Women Voters always prepares a wonderful voter guide as well, too. I'm not sure if that's in print yet, or is it printed yet? It is now, so it is available now. So check that out. It's great to have that as, to give you some background for both elections. That's all for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. We'll have more news at 10. Hope you'll join us again then. In the meantime, have a good evening.